Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine, and I hope you have completed all the previous exercises of the previous chapter. So now let's move into the new chapter, that is chapter 17. The chapter name is paragraph writing. So first of all, read the following paragraphs. First you have to read the following paragraph. Okay, so the paragraph title is COVID-19 Symptoms, Transmission and Prevention. So let's read this paragraph. Coronavirus are a family of viruses that can cause illnesses ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases such as severe acute respiratory syndrome, that is SARS, including death. According to the World Health Organization WHO, they circulate in animals and some can be transmitted between animals and humans. Several coronaviruses are circulating in animals that have not yet infected humans. So now it is telling you about the COVID-19. Okay, so basically the coronavirus are a family of the viruses, okay, that can cause like different type of illnesses ranging from the common cold to the more severe diseases. Severe diseases such as severe acute respiratory syndrome it can cause, okay, that means the SARS, and including death. According to the WHO, they said that it causes many type of diseases, okay, including death it can cause, and they circulate in animals and some can be transmitted between the animals and the humans. Several coronaviruses are still there in animals which are not spread till date in humans. Okay, now let's know what is COVID-19. Coronavirus disease is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. The new coronavirus, the seventh known to affect humans, has been named COVID-19. World Health Organization, that is WHO, has declared the COVID-19 as a pandemic, which was first reported in December 2019 in Wuhan, China. COVID-19 has since spread worldwide. So now it is telling you about COVID-19. That what is COVID-19? Coronavirus, which is a disease, which is an infectious disease, and it is caused by a newly discovered virus, that is the coronavirus. Okay, so the new coronavirus, the seventh known to affect the humans, and that's why it is being named as the COVID-19. Okay, so WHO has declared this COVID-19 as a pandemic one, and which was first reported in December 2019. Okay, and where? In Wuhan, China. So this COVID-19, after that it spread worldwide, as you can see the picture of that one. Now let's talk about signs and symptoms of COVID-19. So common signs of infection include respiratory systems, fever, coughs, shortness of breath, and breathing difficulties. In more severe cases, infection can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, kidney failure, and even death. Infected patients can also be asymptomatic, meaning they do not display any symptoms despite having the virus in their systems. So basically this COVID-19, it has the symptoms like common signs of infections like respiratory symptoms are there, fever is there, cough is there, shortness of breath is there, and also breathing difficulties is there. And more severe cases, the infection can also cause the pneumonia and severe acute respiratory syndrome, it can cause kidney failure, it can cause, and even death it can cause. Okay, and basically the infected patients, it is not necessary that each and every person will be affected by it. Some persons are the asymptomatic one, which means they have that disease, but the symptoms are not at all visible to like from them. Okay, so you cannot differentiate that whether that person is like truly healthy or not. Okay, now the next thing is, how is COVID-19 likely spread? How it spread? So COVID-19 enters your body through your mouth, nose, or eyes. The virus travels to the back of your nasal passages and mucous membrane in the back of your throat. It attaches to cells there and begins to multiply and moves into lung tissue. From there, the virus can spread to other body tissues. So basically, this COVID-19 enters through your mouth, through your nose, through your eyes, and then that virus travel back to of your nasal passage and mucous membrane in the back of your throat. Okay, and then it attaches to the cell. It gets stuck to the cell. Okay, and after that it multiply. Okay, and it also multiply and moves into the lung tissue, where the virus can spread to other body tissues also. Okay, now let's talk about preventive measures for COVID-19. The best preventive measure includes wearing a mask, staying 6 feet apart, washing hands often, avoiding sick people, keeping your hands away from your face, getting adequate rest and nutrition, avoid unnecessary unprotected contact with animals, and be sure to thoroughly wash your hands after contact. Okay, so the best preventive measure, it includes like wearing a mask. Then one should always wear a mask, then stay 6 feet apart. Okay, wash your hand often, avoid sick people, avoid the contact with the sick people, and also keep your hands away from your face. Okay, getting adequate rest is very much important, and nutrition also, and avoid unnecessary unprotected contact with the animals, and be sure that you thoroughly wash your hands. Okay, like you can see over here, the child is using the sanitizer to sanitize his hands. Now students, there is the exercise part. So this exercise part you have to do by your own self. You have to first read the question carefully, then you have to find out the answer from the paragraph itself. Okay students, now let's move into the next paragraph. The next paragraph topic is become a dutiful human being. So let's read this paragraph. We should do all our works as our duty in whichever field we work. If we understand our duty, then we can get to know our responsibility. Sadly, in today's world, people often ignore their public work and go for their own work. We should go ahead with our family and social duties. It makes us a good citizen. So basically it is saying about your duty, that one should always do their duty with full responsibility. Okay, and it is also saying that sadly in today's world, people are doing people are just focusing on themselves only. They are not at all socializing, and they are not at all like helping others. Okay, socially helping others, like the stranger and all. Okay, now the next paragraph is, in all our duties we should include honesty, truth, and hard work. It makes us praiseworthy, and people will start respecting and honoring us. All the citizens of the country follow their duty, and then the face of our society, country, and the world will be changed. So basically it is saying that it is our duty that we should always include in our personality to be honest, to be truthful, to be hard work. Okay, so it makes us praiseworthy, and also each and every person will respect us. Okay, and if each and every individual become like this, become the positive one, then our country and our world will be changed. Okay, now the next thing is, author Joes writes about Les Leacock, that he had worked as the head in the Ford Company of America for 8 years. Suddenly, the company showed him the exit path by removing him from his post as well as the job. He was hardworking and used to get 970 lakh per month dollar. Okay, 970 lakh dollar per month. Okay, so here it is telling you about the author Joes, who writes about the Les Leacock, who had worked as a head in the Ford Company of America for 8 years. Then suddenly the company showed to him the exit path, and that company removed him from the post and as well as the job. And he was like literally he was hardworking, and also he get the good salary. Okay, now the next thing is, another company which was in loss gave him the job. He also showed his talent, and within a few years he brought the company to the second position by his hard work and great effort. Now what happened, he joined the another company. That company was in loss. Okay, but when he joined, he showed his talent at that time period, and he brought that company to the second position. Okay, by his hard work and great effort. Now the next thing is, in Mahabharata, Lord Krishna had driven Arjun's chariot. He had advised Arjun to execute his duty well. Due to this, Pandavas won the battle. So now what happened next in Mahabharata? Lord Krishna driven the Arjun's chariot. Okay, then he advised Arjun to execute his duty well. Okay, due to this, the Pandavas won the battle. Now the next thing is, Swami Vivekanand says, if you believe on 33 crore gods but don't do your duty, then you won't get success. So it is saying that if you're believing in 33 crore gods and you're not at all doing your duty, not at all performing your duty, okay, then you won't get any success, because it is said, it is a line that God help those who help themselves. Okay, a person was in the government job and had good income. In reality, he was a DM. He was very generous and helpful. People came to him with their problems. After coming home from his office, he sits and works till 12 midnight daily. He did not even get sufficient time for food, or neither was able to spend time with his family. Due to this behavior of his, people honored him as their god. So what happened? A person who was in the government job and had good income also. In reality, he was a DM and he was also very generous and helpful and hardworking. People always came to him to solve his problem. People always came to him to solve their problem. And after coming home from the office, he still sit and work till 12 midnight. He even don't eat his food, and also he doesn't even spend his time with his family members. Okay, by which his behavior, like people honored him more and people honored him as their god. Now, all the days we come across many duties that we regret to do, but the same duties, if done with great love, will bring a positive impact and satisfaction in our life. So it is saying that all the days we come across many duties that we regret to do, but the same duty, if we do with great love, and it will bring what? It will bring a positive impact and the satisfaction in our life. Okay. We are given this life by God in order to do our duties assigned very well. If we get away from the duties, then we won't be respected in our locality. Okay, so basically we are given the life by God itself, and in order to do the duties which are assigned, okay, which are assigned to us, because each and every individual like come here for a purpose only. Okay, so if we get away from our duties, from our purpose, then we won't be respected in our locality. Okay. Dear children, whichever field we work in, we should do all our works as our duty. At your age, you are given the time to study, so this way, study is the first and foremost duty for you to complete. If you will run away from this duty, then your bright future ahead will start to become dim. Okay, so it is saying that, dear children, you should also perform your duty very well. Your duty is to study well. Okay, your first and foremost duty is to study well, and you should not run away from your duty, from your studies, because this studies only will create a bright future, and if you are not at all interested in studies, then your future will become dim. Now we should have strength and wisdom to do what is right and know the righteous, so that we can do our work with truth, honesty, and hard work, and present an ideal example. So now here it is saying that we should always do our duty with full of honesty, truthfulness, and hard work. Okay, then only we will get the good result. Now students, what you have to do, you have to do the exercise. You have to first read down the question carefully, then you have to find out the answer from the paragraph itself. Okay, now let's jump into the next paragraph. The next paragraph topic is, change is natural. Change is the law of nature. In our nature, season changes. It happens one by one. In other words, this is called change. So change is what? Change is the law of nature. In our nature also, the season always changes. Okay, like summer come, and after summer there is rainy, then winter, then spring, then autumn. These all are the changes. Okay, so it happens one by one. In other words, this is known as the change. In today's science and in technical field, there are so much changes that we can't imagine without this. It seems that without change, life is impossible, but this is truth. That change is life. This is a way of life where it brings human being to the zenith. For example, when water of gutters doesn't flow, then it gets insects and a foul smell comes from it. Similarly, without change, our life is dead. Okay, so basically it is telling you about that in today's world also, science and in technical field, there are so many changes going on. Okay, so we can't even imagine that what type of changes are going on in each and every second. There are changes going on in science field, and so by this we can say now that it seems that without change, life is impossible. Okay, life is worthless. So but this is the truth, that change is there. Okay, change is necessary in our life. So this is a way to life, where it brings the human being into the zenith. Okay, so into the calmness and peacefulness. And for example, when water of gutters doesn't flow and it remains stagnant over at one place, then insects will like grow over there, and mosquitoes will breed over there. Okay, so and it also the smell is very foul one. Okay, so similarly, the change, if we are not at all changing ourselves, or we are not at all, we are not at all taking that change, okay, or accepting that change, then our life will become dead. Okay, often we think that what will happen from the changes, whether this is good or bad, external or internal, we can say that it should be good from evil and it should be internal. This change can bring advantage and development in others' life. Now we also question to ourselves that whether this change will like bring good things or bad things. So basically, the good things, the change which bring good things to you, and also which internally changes you, that is the good one, that is the positive one, that is the advantage one. Okay, and it also develop the others' life. Family is a small unit. Often we see that husband and wife indulge in fight, then it makes a wrong effect to their children. Then they fight with their brothers and sisters when they grow up. Then they don't care their parents and they follow different path. Do we need such changes? So on the other hand, if like in a small family, the nuclear family, suppose husband and wife are fighting and their children saw them like they are fighting, after which what happened, after which the negative effect of the husband and wife or the parents get into the children only. Okay, now what happened, the children, they fight with each other, brother and sister, they fight with each other. Okay, and when they grow up, they even don't care about their parents. Okay, and they are not at all following the path of their parents, they are not at all following the rules and guidance or the advice of their parent. Okay, so basically they are behaving rudely with their parent, similar to that one which their parents have done when they were child. Okay, so this happened negative, if you put negative behavior to someone, that person also show the negative one only. Okay, but if you put the positive one, then that person will show the positive one only. Okay, change is often artificial. We do that to please somebody or want to be praised. This change is temporary. When it finishes the work, then it comes in the formal shape. This is good and it breaks. It gives miserable and troublesome results. So now here it is saying that change is often artificial also. We do that to please someone, like people pleasure type. Okay, so we do that to please somebody, or wanted to be praised, or want that praise type of thing. So this change is not permanent one, this change is temporary one only, and this is the external one, this is temporary one. Okay, and when it finishes the work, then it comes to the formal shape only, it comes to the its like usual shape only. Okay, so this is good, but it breaks also, and it is miserable and troublesome also. Okay, now we need to think that what kind of change we want, is a real change, or will be, is a real change or will be destroy. So we need to think carefully that what kind of change we want, or is a real change or the or that one which is temporary one, or destroy the things. Now here it is talking about Maharaja Singh was a typist. Somehow he managed in a small salary to look after his family. He looked after his brother's family. His two younger brothers used to give him honor as their father. He gave his entire money in their marriages and in sorrow or trouble. Now here it is talking about Maharaja Singh, who was a typist and who somehow managed in a small salary, okay, to look after his family, and he also look after his brother's family. His two younger brother, they used to give him the honor of like they always say to him that you are our father like figure. Okay, so he gave his entire money in their marriages, in their brother marriages, and in his brother marriages, and in sorrow or trouble type of situation. Okay, now what happened? Unfortunately, after marriage, they created a distance and started living in other place. This is due to their individual selfishness and closeness. Now, what happened when his brother got married? Then they just, they created a distance. They live separately and they don't even care about him, about Maharaja, and they are very selfish and also very far to them. They are living very far, okay, certain place. Now, what happened next? Now here you can clearly see that there was an internal change. When they were poor, they used to live with each other happily. But when they got enough money, then they took disorient paths. Now what we have seen in this case, that when they were poor at that time, they are living together very peacefully, very happily. Okay, but at the time when they got the money, when they got enough money, then they just disorient their path, they just got separated. Okay, so this is the internal change which took place inside them. Okay, now can we stand with others for this change? If there is very less aspiration, it brings changes to others. In human life, internal changes make path straight and plain. In human life, internal changes make the path straight and plain. Okay, change is helpful in developing good habits like truth, honesty, love, politeness, and tolerance. Don't fight with each other and discriminate. Always talk about success and development. So, like here it is saying that one should always talk about success and development, about the things which you want to do, and you should be passionate about it, and you should do it very honestly, truthfully, and also like happily, politely, and all. But one should not fight with others, argue with others, and discriminate like with others. Okay, now students, what you have to do, you have to do the exercise part. You have to first read the question carefully, then you have to find out the answer from the paragraph itself. Okay, I hope student that you understood this paragraph writing. Your homework is you have to complete the exercises of the paragraph writing, and I'm gonna meet you in the next class. Till then students, bye bye.